If you've watched this channel for any length of time, you know I don't do first impression videos, I don't do unboxings, I used it for 3 hours and here's my review. My normal process is to spend weeks and sometimes months testing a machine, collecting data, pushing it through real world projects, and then presenting a complete review once I feel I have enough information to give you an accurate picture of the platform. However, after beginning testing on the Flashforge Creator 5 Pro, I immediately found a problem I felt was serious enough to get this information out right now for anyone considering purchasing one. So this isn't a review. I'm not ready to score the printer. I'm not ready to recommend it or not recommend it. And I'm not going to bait you through a 30-minute video just to reveal the important information at the end. The problem is the reason this video exists, but first, a little context for those unfamiliar with the Creator 5 Pro. It's just the enclosed version of the Flashforge Creator 5. It's a 4-tool switching multi-material 3D printer designed for advanced materials and engineering applications. In addition to the enclosure, the Pro adds several features, including a chamber ventilation fan, an auxiliary part cooling fan, and most importantly, a chamber heater that allows it to print more demanding engineering materials such as nylons, glass-filled nylons, carbon fiber composites, and other materials that benefit from a heated chamber environment. Now, if you've watched some reviews of the standard Creator 5, you may have noticed an unusual design choice. Now, when the printer loads or purges filament, it doesn't purge into a dedicated collection system like the Snapmaker U1, for example. It doesn't create neat little purge blobs that get ejected into a waste container. Instead, it simply extrudes a long strand of filament, wipes it off the nozzle, and drops it into the bottom of the printer. No collection bucket, no waste chute, no consolidation system, just loose strands of filament accumulating inside the machine. Now, on the standard Creator 5, that's not ideal, but it's also not a huge concern. The Creator 5 Pro does exactly the same thing. The difference is that on the Pro, those purge strands pass directly in front of the chamber ventilation duct, and more importantly, directly in front of the chamber heater intake fan. And well, let me just show you what happened the very first time I ran a print using the chamber heater. Now, I apologize in advance for the language, but this was my actual real-time raw reaction. Just got sucked into a fan, dude. What the hell? It's sucked into a fan in there. Are you fucking kidding me? Look at this. Are you kidding? Look at it. Oh my god, holy shit. Oh, that just fucked that fan up. Oh, great. The filament just got sucked into the heater. Are you freaking kidding me? Now, yeah, that's the intake fan for the chamber heater. That fan leads directly into an electric heating element. Plastic inside an electric heater is bad, potentially very bad. Now, before anyone says this was just a fluke, that's exactly what I thought too, so I tried it again and again and again, and it happened repeatedly. On just the second attempt, the first nozzle purged PPA-GF directly into the intake fan. I pulled it out, and it was immediately followed by PETG from the second tool head getting sucked into the same fan. Now, at this point, we're no longer talking about a random occurrence. We're talking about a predictable outcome of the printer's normal operating behavior. Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting the printer will immediately burst into flames the moment a strand enters the heater duct, but if filament repeatedly accumulates around an electric heater, you're introducing the possibility of airflow restrictions, contamination, melted plastic buildup, increased maintenance requirements, a dead heater, and potentially much worse outcomes, including fire, depending on the material involved and how much accumulates over time. Now, it's simply something that should not be happening on a professional grade machine. Now, the obvious solution would to be disable the purge cycle once the materials are already loaded. If I load my filament, start a print, finish that print, and immediately start another print using the same materials, why am I purging large amounts of filament all over again? And unfortunately, that behavior appears to be locked inside Flashforge's proprietary firmware. This isn't an open clipper type machine where I can simply edit a macro and remove the purge sequence. And here's the thing, even if everything goes perfectly and the heater fan never pulls a strand into the intake, I'm still not convinced this is a good design. In fact, it's not a good design at all. The printer is intentionally creating long, thin strands of waste filament and dropping them loose into the bottom of the machine. Those strands end up directly in front of the chamber heater exhaust, and depending on the material, there's a possibility that some of that filament could soften, deform, or even melt. But more importantly, I've already reserved the chamber heater blowing those strands across the bottom of the printer, and they just don't stay where they land. They get pushed towards the left side of the machine where the Z-axis lead screws are located. Now, maybe nothing happens, maybe they just accumulate there indefinitely, but we're talking about loose filaments moving around inside a machine with rotating lead screws, belts, fans, and other moving components, and that's simply not a situation I expect to see in a modern 3D printer. Now, the larger issue is that there doesn't appear to be any actual waste management strategy. The machine generates waste and simply leaves it inside the printer. As of right now, the only practical solution is to physically stand at the printer before every print, wait for the purge cycle to complete, and manually remove the waste. And honestly, that's where this really loses me. It's 2026. I'm rarely even in the same room when I start a print. Modern printers level themselves, they compensate for build services, they monitor filament, they detect failures. I don't stand there watching the first layer go down while adjusting the Z offset anymore. And I certainly don't expect to stand next to a professional printer waiting to catch and remove waste filament before every single print job. Now, the other solution I've seen people doing is attaching a small collection bin to the front corner of the build plate. The idea is simple: catch the purge material before it reaches the bottom of the printer. Unfortunately, that solution doesn't really work either. The engineering materials I'm using on this machine, particularly the PPA-GF, are relatively stiff. Instead of forming neat little blobs, they create long, firm strands that quickly fill the collection bin. The next nozzle then comes along and purges on top of the previous material. The result is exactly what happened during my testing. The second nozzle, the PETG purge, had nowhere to go. It just piled up on top of the first filament and then around the nozzle and created an entirely different problem. Ironically, I tried a similar purge bin on my standard Creator 5, and even PLA eventually overflowed the container and caused nozzle contamination issues. So for me, the purge bin isn't really a solution. It's a workaround that creates a different set of problems. And on the Pro, it introduces additional concerns because it partially blocks both the chamber ventilation system and the chamber heater intake fan. And more importantly, this feels like a 2016 solution to a 2026 problem. We're well past the rep era where it's considered normal for users to design and print fixes for basic design shortcomings. Now, to Flashforge's credit, when I sent them the video, they took the issue seriously. Within about 48 hours, they provided updated firmware intended to address the problem. The new firmware doesn't eliminate the purge cycle, but it does disable the chamber heater fan while the printer is performing that purge process. Now, for the most part, that should prevent the fan from actively pulling filament into the heater. However, I've noticed on even my standard Creator 5 that occasionally the end of a purge strand can still find its way into the ventilation duct even without active airflow. In fact, there's not even any fans in the Creator 5. But if that same thing happens on the Pro, once the heater fan eventually turns on, it can still pull the material deeper into the system and the heater. Now, Flashforge also informed me that they're working on some type of physical baffle to prevent filament from entering the intake area. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to test either solution because the firmware update they sent me wouldn't install into my printer. The printer just didn't recognize it on the USB drive. So for now, I'm setting the Creator 5 Pro aside. Every major project I have planned for this machine involves engineering material and requires the chamber heater until I can evaluate Flashforge's final solution and determine whether I'm comfortable with it. I don't feel it's responsible to continue testing in its current state. Now, personally, I think the entire purge strategy and heater placement deserve a comprehensive redesign, but realistically, the printer already exists, as customers have already bought them, and Flashforge needs a practical solution because it's too late for a complete mechanical redesign. So for now, I'm going to wait and see what they come up with. In the meantime, I've just shifted attention to the standard Creator 5 that I purchased myself. Now, while many reviewers experience significant issues with early pre-production units, my experience with the retail machine has actually been fairly positive so far. So stay tuned for that long-term review and stay tuned for the conclusion of the Creator 5 Pro testing once Flashforge's solution is available and I continue evaluating the machine. Hopefully nobody ends up with a heater full of molten plastic in the meantime.